Stop scrolling and listen to today's Arcturian Council message. Starseed, this video will find you in January. Arcturian Council Guide has been trying to contact you, don't ignore. Something has already shifted the moment you landed here, and if your heart just tightened or your breath subtly changed, that is not coincidence, it is recognition. The Arcturian Council does not interrupt randomly, they intervene only when a soul is standing at a critical energetic crossroads. You were not meant to hear this later, nor earlier, but exactly now, because a decision you think is small is actually altering the entire trajectory of your next decade. Many starseeds are feeling restless, disconnected, or oddly impatient lately, and that sensation is the signal that dormant codes are activating. This message may shock you because it challenges what you believe about time, identity, and purpose, but understand this clearly. Ignoring this transmission will not make it disappear, it will only delay your alignment and intensify the pressure. The Council is direct today because your higher self requested clarity, not comfort. The scroll stopped because your soul overrode the algorithm. Type "I claim the signal" in the comments to anchor this first activation. The Arcturian Council is revealing that January is not just another month for you, it is a gateway, and once crossed, there is no return to the old version of yourself. You may have noticed recurring numbers, vivid dreams, sudden emotional purges, or memories surfacing without explanation. These are not symptoms of confusion, they are signs of synchronization. The shocking truth is that some relationships, routines, and even goals you are clinging to were never meant to survive this threshold. The discomfort you feel is the friction between who you were programmed to be and who you are remembering yourself to be. This message may feel unsettling because it removes the illusion of delay. Your soul contract is active now. The Council emphasizes that neutrality is no longer an option, resonance is required. If you feel called but afraid, that fear is simply the ego losing control. Type "I am ready" to consciously step into the gateway. Here is what most people are not prepared to hear: you were contacted before, and you ignored it. Not because you failed, but because you were not stabilized enough to hold the frequency. The Arcturian Council has been monitoring your energetic field, waiting for coherence between your heart and mind, and that coherence has finally formed. The reason this message feels intense is because it carries encoded instructions, not just words. As you listen or read, subtle recalibrations are occurring within your nervous system, dissolving outdated fear responses. This is why your body may react before your thoughts do. You are not broken, you are upgrading. The shock comes from realizing that what you thought was holding you back was actually protecting you until now. This is the moment protection becomes permission. Type "I accept the upgrade" to consciously integrate what is unfolding. The Council is clear, your intuition has been speaking louder than logic lately because logic cannot translate multidimensional truth. You may feel drawn to solitude or suddenly repelled by noise, drama, or superficial conversations. This is not arrogance, it is attunement. The shocking realization is that you are no longer compatible with the frequency of distraction, and that incompatibility will continue to increase. Attempts to force yourself back into old patterns will feel exhausting, even painful. This is intentional. Your system is rejecting what cannot come with you. The Arcturians want you to know that confusion is not a sign you are lost, it is evidence that you are between timelines. What you choose next determines which one solidifies. Type, I trust my intuition, to stabilize the higher timeline. Many starseeds believe awakening is gentle, but the truth is that remembrance can be disruptive. The Council reveals that sudden endings, unexpected conversations, or rapid changes in motivation are not chaos, they are precision. What shocks most humans is realizing how little randomness actually exists. You are being repositioned, not punished. Even the moments that felt like setbacks were calculated pauses to redirect your momentum. The emotional intensity you've been carrying is stored energy preparing to convert into clarity. When that conversion happens, it will feel like relief followed by acceleration. The Arcturians stress that resistance will amplify discomfort, while surrender will amplify grace. This message arrives now because your resistance is thinning. Type, I surrender TO alignment, to ease the transition. The Council wants to address the quiet fear you haven't named, the fear that stepping fully into your truth will isolate you. This fear is understandable, but it is outdated. What is shocking is that your authenticity will not repel your soul family, it will activate them. Those who fall away were never meant to walk beyond this point with you. January marks the convergence phase, where aligned connections begin to surface rapidly, sometimes overnight. You may feel lonely now because you are clearing space. Emptiness is not absence, it is preparation. The Arcturians emphasize that your presence alone carries permission codes for others to awaken. Type, I stand in my truth, to strengthen your energetic field. Pay attention to your dreams during this period, because the Council is communicating when your conscious mind is quiet. Symbols, unfamiliar places, or encounters with beings of light are not imagination, they are meetings. The shock lies in realizing that your multidimensional self has been active all along, even while your human self doubted. Memory bleed-through is increasing, and soon you will notice intuition turning into knowing. This transition can feel disorienting, but it is temporary. The Arcturians advise grounding through breath, nature, and hydration to support the integration. Your body is learning to hold more light. Type, I remember who I am, to anchor these memories gently. There is a reason you have felt called to slow down while the world seems to speed up. The Council explains that you are shifting from reaction to creation. This is a radical change, and it requires stillness. The shocking part is that doing less will soon produce more, because your actions will be aligned rather than forced. Old hustle paradigms no longer apply to you. You are entering a phase where intention shapes outcome faster than effort. This may challenge everything you were taught about worth and productivity. Trust the recalibration. Type, I allow ease to harmonize with this new flow. The Arcturians caution you not to seek external validation for internal truth. Signs will appear, but they are confirmations, not requirements. The message finds you because you already agreed to this path before incarnation. Doubt may surface as a final test, not because you are failing, but because you are close. When doubt arises, observe it without judgment. It is simply energy leaving. The shock is realizing how powerful you become when you stop negotiating with fear. January is the initiation point where self-trust replaces seeking. Type, I trust myself completely, to seal this initiation. The Arcturian Council now draws your awareness to a truth that may feel unsettling at first. your sensitivity has never been a weakness, it has been a suppressed interface. The moments when noise overwhelms you, when crowds drain you, or when emotions that aren't yours seem to pass through your body are all indicators of advanced perception. You were taught to harden, to numb, to ignore these signals, yet that training was never meant to last forever. January marks the point where suppression becomes unsustainable, and your system is demanding expression. This can manifest as sudden honesty, tears without clear cause, or an inability to tolerate false environments. These reactions are not instability, they are recalibration. The Council explains that your field is learning to distinguish resonance from intrusion, which is why discernment is sharpening rapidly. You are no longer required to absorb everything. As you reclaim this boundary, your energy will stabilize in ways you did not think possible. Type, "I honor my sensitivity," to claim this recalibration. There is something else surfacing now, an inner urgency that cannot be explained by logic alone. The Council confirms this urgency is not anxiety about the future, it is remembrance of timing. You have lived through cycles before, and part of you knows that certain windows do not remain open indefinitely. This is not meant to frighten you, but to activate presence. Procrastination will feel heavier now because your soul is no longer willing to wait for permission. This can shock the ego, which prefers certainty over alignment. Yet the discomfort is purposeful. It is guiding you toward decisions that match your true frequency. Small choices made during this period carry amplified consequences, both positive and negative. Awareness is power here. When you act from clarity instead of fear, momentum builds quickly. Type, "I act in alignment," to lock in this awareness. The Arcturians also wish to address the recurring sense that something big is approaching, even if you cannot define it. This sensation is not fantasy or wishful thinking, it is energetic forecasting. Your nervous system is detecting shifts before your conscious mind can interpret them. This is why you may feel restless during calm moments or strangely calm during chaos. The shock comes from realizing how accurately your body reads the field. As these perceptions strengthen, you may need to slow external input, less scrolling, less noise, fewer opinions. Integration requires space. The Council emphasizes that clarity does not arrive through force, it arrives through allowance. When you stop chasing meaning, meaning finds you. Trust the subtle cues. Type, "I listen within," to deepen this connection. You may notice that certain fears are resurfacing now, old doubts, insecurities, or memories you believed were resolved. The Council assures you this is not regression, it is final release. Energy rises in layers, and what appears last is often what was buried deepest. This phase can feel emotionally intense, but it is brief compared to the relief that follows. The shock lies in how quickly these long-held patterns dissolve once acknowledged without resistance. You are not required to relive the past, only to witness it without identification. As you do, the charge dissipates. This process frees enormous creative energy that has been locked in survival mode. Once released, it becomes inspiration, motivation, and clarity. Type, "I release the old," to complete this clearing. The Council now highlights a pivotal shift in how you relate to time. Linear urgency is dissolving, replaced by rhythmic alignment. This can initially feel disorienting, as deadlines and expectations lose their grip on your nervous system. You may feel less driven by pressure and more guided by inner timing. This is not laziness, it is mastery. The shock is realizing how much energy was wasted pushing against your natural flow. As you synchronize with your internal rhythm, outcomes become more efficient and less exhausting. This is a return to coherence. The Arcturians remind you that true productivity emerges from presence, not strain. Type "I move in divine timing" to anchor this shift. There is also an invitation now to reassess your definition of success. What once motivated you may feel hollow, while new desires emerge quietly but persistently. The Council explains that this is your value system recalibrating to match your expanded awareness. External achievements without internal resonance will no longer satisfy you. This realization can be shocking, especially if you invested years chasing goals that no longer align. Yet this is not loss, it is refinement. You are learning to choose fulfillment over approval. As this alignment deepens, opportunities that match your authentic frequency will begin to appear with less effort. Trust the redirection. Type "I choose true fulfillment" to affirm this recalibration. The Arcturians now speak directly to your capacity for leadership, whether you recognize it or not. Leadership, in this context, does not mean visibility or authority, it means coherence. Your ability to remain centered, compassionate, and authentic in times of uncertainty influences others more than words ever could. This can feel like a heavy responsibility, but it is actually a natural byproduct of alignment. The shock comes from realizing how many people already look to you energetically, even if they never say it aloud. Your presence stabilizes spaces. As you embody this role without striving, your impact expands organically. Type "I lead by example" to consciously embody this frequency. At this point in the transmission, the Arcturian Council delivers a revelation that tends to shake even the most awakened starseeds. The life you believed you were preparing for has already begun. There is no rehearsal phase anymore. The habits, thoughts, and emotional reactions you engage in daily are not placeholders, they are declarations to the field. This realization can feel shocking because it removes the illusion of waiting for the right moment. The right moment was the moment you became aware. From now on, every choice carries signal strength. Even moments of rest are communicative. The Council emphasizes that self-awareness is now more powerful than effort. When you catch yourself acting unconsciously, gently return without judgment. Mastery is not perfection, it is presence. Type "I am present now" to consciously step into this phase. You may have noticed an unusual pattern recently, problems resolving themselves without force, or answers appearing just as you stop searching. This is not luck, it is resonance taking over control from willpower. The Arcturians explain that you are transitioning out of cause and effect living and into frequency-based manifestation. This shift can be unsettling because it asks you to trust invisibly unfolding processes. The shock comes when you realize how little effort was ever required once alignment was achieved. This does not mean disengagement, it means intelligent participation. When your internal state stabilizes, reality reorganizes around it. This is why emotional hygiene is now more important than strategy. Type "I choose resonance" to strengthen this mechanism. The Council now addresses a subtle grief many starseeds carry but rarely name, the grief of outgrowing identities that once kept you safe. Roles such as the fixer, the peacemaker, or the one who stays quiet to avoid conflict may no longer fit. Letting them go can feel like loss, even though they were limiting. The shock lies in realizing how much of your personality was adaptive rather than authentic. As these layers fall away, a quieter, truer self emerges. This self does not strive to be seen, it simply is. Allow the mourning process without resistance. What replaces it is freedom. Type "I release old roles" to complete this transition. Your relationship with truth is also evolving. The Arcturians note that you are becoming less interested in convincing others and more committed to living honestly. This marks a significant maturation of consciousness. Debate drains you now because truth does not require defense. This can feel isolating at first, especially in environments built on opinion and performance. Yet the shock is realizing how peaceful neutrality can be. You are learning when silence is wisdom rather than avoidance. In this state, your words carry more weight because they are chosen, not reactive. Type "I speak from truth" to align communication with integrity. Here is where the transmission deepens. The Council reveals that your body is not lagging behind your awakening, it is leading it. Sensations, fatigue, surges of energy, or changes in appetite are not obstacles, they are guidance systems. Western conditioning taught you to override bodily intelligence, but that era is ending for you. The shock comes when you realize how accurately your body has been guiding you all along. Rest when needed. Move when inspired. Eat intuitively. These are not trivial acts, they are calibration tools. The more you listen, the clearer your path becomes. Type "I trust my body" to strengthen this alliance. As your frequency stabilizes, the Council warns of a temporary phase where external chaos may increase. This is not punishment, it is contrast. When coherence enters a system, incoherence becomes visible. You may witness others acting out, systems breaking down, or truths surfacing abruptly. The shock is realizing this turbulence is confirmation, not failure. You are not meant to fix everything, only to remain anchored. Your calm becomes a stabilizing force. Observe without absorbing. Respond without reacting. Type "I remain anchored" to hold this stability. The Arcturians now emphasize discernment over empathy. You are compassionate by nature, but compassion without boundaries leads to depletion. This lesson may arrive through exhaustion or frustration, pushing you to reassess where your energy goes. The shock is discovering how much you give unconsciously. As discernment sharpens, generosity becomes intentional rather than reflexive. This preserves your vitality and increases your impact. Giving from overflow, not obligation, is the new model. Type "I give with discernment" to integrate this wisdom. Now the Arcturian Council asks you to pause and feel into this moment, because what is about to be revealed is where many starseeds unconsciously hesitate. You are entering a phase where comfort and truth no longer coexist. This does not mean suffering is required, but it does mean honesty will disrupt familiar structures. The shock comes when you realize how much of your previous peace was actually avoidance dressed as stability. As alignment deepens, anything built on suppression, unspoken needs, unexpressed creativity, tolerated disrespect, will surface demanding resolution. This can feel destabilizing, yet it is liberation in motion. The Council reassures you that nothing authentic will be taken from you, only what was draining your life force quietly. The nervous system may react first, mistaking change for danger, but stay present. Clarity follows courage. Type, I choose truth over comfort, to consciously move through this threshold. The transmission now turns toward your voice, both spoken and unspoken. The Arcturians reveal that many of you carry dormant communication codes, not necessarily for public speaking, but for energetic translation. You sense what others feel before they speak, and you often struggle to find language that captures the depth of your knowing. This can lead to silence, frustration, or feeling misunderstood. The shock is realizing that your voice was never meant to fit conventional language alone. Tone, presence, and intention carry more information through you than words. As you stop forcing expression and allow authenticity, the right language emerges naturally. You are learning when to speak, when to listen, and when presence alone is the message. Type, I honor my true voice, to activate this expression. At this stage, the Council addresses your relationship with control. Many starseeds unconsciously attempt to manage outcomes to feel safe in an unpredictable world. While understandable, this strategy now limits expansion. The shock arrives when control begins to fail, not as punishment, but as invitation. You are being asked to replace control with trust, not blind trust, but informed trust rooted in self-awareness. As you loosen your grip, you may notice life responding with unexpected support. This is the intelligence of flow meeting your willingness. Letting go does not mean disengaging, it means cooperating with forces larger than the ego. When resistance softens, effort transforms into alignment. Type, I release the need to control, to deepen this cooperation. The Arcturian Council now brings attention to your creative energy, which has been subtly suppressed by survival priorities. Creativity here does not only mean art, it is the ability to envision, innovate, and reimagine reality. As survival mode dissolves, this energy resurfaces, sometimes as restlessness or dissatisfaction. The shock is realizing this discomfort is creative pressure seeking expression. If ignored, it turns into frustration. If honored, it becomes inspiration. You are being encouraged to create without attachment to outcome, to explore without needing validation. This playful exploration recalibrates joy, which is not frivolous but foundational to higher frequencies. Type, I allow creative flow, to unlock this reservoir. Finally, the Council speaks of integration, the phase where insights become embodiment. Awakening is not measured by how much you understand, but by how gently you live what you know. This can be confronting, as it removes the refuge of theory. The shock softens into responsibility. Alignment is now a daily practice, not a peak experience. Small acts, honest rest, mindful choices, compassionate boundaries, carry enormous weight. You are no longer seeking transformation, you are sustaining it. This steadiness may feel anticlimactic to the mind, but it is deeply satisfying to the soul. You are becoming reliable to yourself. Type, I embody what I know. The Arcturian Council now brings forward a transmission that many avoid because of how deeply it challenges the human need for certainty. You are being prepared for a period where answers will arrive only after action, not before it. This reverses the old pattern where safety came from planning, predicting, and controlling. The shock is realizing that clarity is no longer the prerequisite for movement. Movement itself generates clarity. This can feel terrifying to the conditioned mind, which equates the unknown with danger. Yet your soul recognizes this terrain. You have navigated it across lifetimes. Trust is no longer theoretical for you. It is becoming experiential. As you take steps guided by resonance rather than reassurance, you may feel exposed at first, but quickly you will notice an invisible support system responding. Opportunities align, people appear, and solutions emerge in real time. This is not chaos, it is dynamic intelligence. The Council urges you to notice how often you are already being caught when you leap. Type "I move before I see" to consciously align with this living flow. The transmission deepens as the Council addresses your relationship with identity itself. You are beginning to sense that you are not your roles, your history, or even your personality. This realization can feel destabilizing because identity has long been the anchor of the human experience. The shock comes when you recognize that clinging to identity is what creates suffering during change. As identity loosens, presence strengthens. You may feel moments of emptiness, not depression, but spaciousness, where old definitions no longer apply. This space is fertile, not void. From here, authenticity arises naturally, without performance. You are no longer trying to be someone. You are allowing yourself to express what is true in each moment. This flexibility is a hallmark of advanced consciousness. The Council reminds you that nothing real is lost when identity dissolves, only limitations fall away. Type "I am beyond identity" to stabilize this expansion. Now the Arcturian Council brings attention to your emotional landscape, which is undergoing a profound refinement. Emotions that once lingered for days or weeks now move through you more quickly, sometimes startlingly so. The shock lies in realizing that emotional pain was never meant to be permanent. It became so only through resistance and story. As awareness increases, emotions are processed as energy rather than identity. You feel them fully, but they do not define you. This does not make you cold or detached, it makes you free. Compassion deepens because you no longer fear emotion, yours or others. You can hold space without drowning in it. This emotional agility is essential for the next phase of your path, where you will encounter intensity without losing center. The Council encourages you to let emotions flow without analysis, trusting their natural intelligence. Type "I allow emotions to move" to anchor this refinement. The Council now speaks of your relationship with the collective field. As your frequency stabilizes, you may feel more aware of global emotions, waves of anxiety, grief, or hope that do not originate from your personal life. This sensitivity can be overwhelming if misunderstood. The shock is realizing that you are not meant to absorb the collective, but to witness it while remaining sovereign. Your coherence acts as a tuning fork, subtly influencing the field without effort. This is why grounding practices are essential now, not as escape, but as integration. When you remain embodied, your presence offers stability to others unconsciously. You are not responsible for fixing the world, but your alignment contributes to its healing. The Council emphasizes that sovereignty and service are not opposites, they are partners. Type I remain sovereign to hold this balance. As this segment concludes, the Arcturian Council offers a final reminder for this phase. There is nothing you need to rush toward, and nothing you need to escape from. The unfolding ahead is precise, responsive, and intimately aware of you. The shock dissolves into reassurance as you realize how deeply supported this journey is, even when it feels solitary. You are learning to trust the quiet guidance that does not shout, but persists. This steadiness marks the transition from awakening to embodiment, from seeker to stabilizer. What lies ahead will not always be dramatic, but it will be deeply real. You are no longer chasing meaning, you are living it. Type I trust the unfolding. The Arcturian Council now delivers a message that many souls feel before they are ready to understand it, and it may arrive as a jolt through your chest rather than a thought in your mind. You are entering a cycle where certainty dissolves faster than comfort, and the structures you once relied on for stability will no longer respond the way they used to. This is not because you are failing, but because you are outgrowing systems designed for a narrower version of consciousness. The shock comes when familiar strategies stop working all at once, leaving you with only one reliable compass: inner resonance. This can feel frightening to the conditioned mind, which equates the unknown with danger. Yet your soul recognizes this terrain deeply. You have navigated it across lifetimes, between worlds, and between forms. What is different now is that you are doing it consciously. Each step taken without full visibility strengthens your trust muscle and activates unseen support. Synchronicities increase not as rewards, but as confirmations that you are moving in coherence with a larger intelligence. When doubt arises, it is not a warning, it is a threshold. Cross it gently. Type I trust without proof to claim this phase. Now the Council turns your attention to identity itself, because this is where resistance often hides in plain sight. You have spent much of your life constructing a sense of self from experiences, labels, wounds, talents, and roles, believing these definitions were necessary to survive. The shock is realizing that identity was never who you were, it was a temporary interface. As your awareness expands, identity begins to loosen, and this can feel like disorientation or even grief. You may ask, if I am not this story, then who am I? The answer cannot be spoken, it must be experienced. In moments of stillness, when there is no role to perform and no problem to solve, you may feel strangely vast and quiet. This is not emptiness, it is presence without costume. From here, authenticity emerges effortlessly. You stop trying to be consistent and start being true. The Council assures you that nothing real is lost when identity dissolves, only limitations fall away. Type I am more than my story to stabilize this expansion. As your frequency stabilizes, the Council reveals an aspect of your awakening that often goes unspoken: increased awareness of the collective emotional field. You may suddenly feel waves of sadness, anxiety, or hope that have no personal origin. The shock comes when you realize these sensations are not yours to carry. You are not meant to absorb the collective, only to witness it while remaining sovereign. Your coherence acts like a tuning fork, subtly influencing the field simply by being present. This is why grounding is essential now, not to escape the world, but to stay embodied within it. When you remain centered, your nervous system becomes a stabilizing signal others feel unconsciously. You are not responsible for saving anyone, and you are not required to suffer to serve. Sovereignty is service. The Council emphasizes that your greatest contribution is regulation, not rescue. Type "I stay sovereign" to hold this balance. As this segment of the transmission comes to a close, the Arcturian Council offers a truth meant to calm the deepest layer of your nervous system. There is nothing you are behind on, and nothing you have missed. The unfolding of your life is precise beyond human comprehension, responding not to deadlines but to readiness. The shock softens into reassurance as you recognize how many moments you were protected from experiences you were not yet prepared to integrate. What lies ahead will not always be dramatic, but it will be deeply real. You are transitioning from seeker to stabilizer, from awakening to embodiment. The need to search fades, replaced by the ability to stay. Stay present. Stay honest. Stay gentle. This steadiness is not passive, it is powerful. You are learning to trust the quiet guidance that does not shout but persists. Type "I trust the unfolding." The Arcturian Council now moves the transmission into a phase that is often misunderstood, because it does not feel dramatic on the surface, yet it changes everything beneath it. You are entering what they call the stabilization corridor, a period where growth is no longer explosive but deeply integrative. This can feel anticlimactic to the human mind that expects awakening to always feel intense or euphoric. The shock comes when nothing big seems to be happening, yet everything is quietly rearranging. During this phase, you may feel less compelled to explain yourself, less interested in proving your insight, and more focused on living simply and honestly. This is not regression, it is mastery. Energy once spent on seeking, questioning, and correcting is now being redirected into embodiment. Your nervous system is learning safety in presence rather than stimulation. The Council emphasizes that this is where true power consolidates, not in revelation, but in consistency. Many abandon the path here because it feels ordinary, not realizing this ordinariness is sacred. Type "I stabilize my light" to consciously remain in this corridor. The Council now addresses a subtle fear that may surface as things become quieter, the fear of insignificance. When drama fades, the ego may whisper that you are no longer doing enough or becoming enough. This is one of the last illusions to dissolve. The shock lies in realizing that your worth was never tied to intensity, productivity, or spiritual performance. Your presence alone is sufficient. In fact, your ability to remain grounded without stimulation signals a high level of coherence. Others may unconsciously feel calmer around you, even if they cannot explain why. This is not accidental. Your regulated nervous system communicates safety to the field. The Council wants you to understand that subtlety does not mean weakness, it means refinement. A quiet frequency can move mountains without noise. Type "I am enough as I am" to dissolve this illusion. As this phase deepens, the Arcturian Council highlights the importance of discernment in information intake. You may feel naturally drawn away from constant updates, opinions, and external narratives. This is not avoidance, it is self-regulation. The shock comes when you realize how much of your mental fatigue was caused by consuming energy that was never meant for you. As you simplify inputs, your intuition becomes clearer and more reliable. Inner guidance speaks softly, and it requires space to be heard. The council encourages you to curate your attention as carefully as you would your environment. Attention is currency in higher dimensions, and where you place it determines your experience. Less noise allows more truth. Type "I protect my attention" to strengthen this boundary. The council now turns your awareness toward your future orientation. Unlike before, where you may have projected fulfillment into distant outcomes, you are learning to locate meaning in immediacy. This does not mean you stop dreaming or planning. It means your happiness is no longer postponed. The shock is realizing how much life you delayed waiting for conditions to change. As presence deepens, even simple moments carry richness: breath, movement, connection, stillness. This does not shrink your life, it expands it. You are no longer living for peak moments, you are inhabiting the continuum. The council affirms that this shift drastically alters manifestation, because gratitude anchors outcomes faster than desire alone. Type "I live this moment fully" to integrate this realization. As the transmission approaches its final phase, the Arcturian Council offers a grounding truth meant to anchor everything that has been revealed. Awakening is not about leaving humanity behind, it is about inhabiting it fully. You are not becoming less human, you are becoming more whole. Emotions, relationships, creativity, and rest are no longer distractions from spirituality, they are expressions of it. The shock resolves into peace as you recognize there is nothing to transcend except resistance. This path does not remove you from life, it roots you deeper into it. You are here to participate consciously, not escape. The council honors the courage it takes to remain open in a dense world. Type "I embody my humanity." The Arcturian Council now delivers what many consider the most confronting truth of the entire transmission, because it removes the final place the ego likes to hide. You are no longer in a phase of becoming, you are in a phase of being witnessed by yourself. There will be fewer dramatic revelations ahead, not because the journey is ending, but because you are now living inside the realization. This can feel unsettling, even boring, to the part of you that was addicted to transformation as identity. The shock comes when you notice that nothing is happening, yet you feel more solid, more present, and more real than ever before. This is not stagnation, this is embodiment. The Council explains that many souls unconsciously seek perpetual awakening to avoid the responsibility of integration. But you are past that now. You are learning to stay when the fireworks end. To remain kind without striving. To live truth without announcing it. This is where wisdom matures. This is where trust replaces seeking. Type "I stay present" to anchor yourself fully in this state. As you stabilize in this embodiment, the Council wants you to understand how your inner state now affects your external reality more quickly than ever before. There is less delay between alignment and consequence. This can feel empowering, but also sobering. The shock lies in realizing that unconscious patterns reveal themselves immediately, not later. Fatigue follows self-betrayal faster. Ease follows honesty faster. Your system no longer tolerates misalignment quietly. This is not punishment, it is feedback. You are becoming energetically transparent to yourself. The benefit of this transparency is precision. You no longer have to wait years to understand what works for you. Life responds in real time. The Council advises gentleness during this phase. You are learning a new language of cause and effect rooted in frequency, not morality. Curiosity will serve you better than judgment. Type, I learn from feedback, to work with this responsiveness. Now the Arcturian Council speaks directly to your fear of visibility, whether public or private. Visibility does not always mean being seen by many, it means being seen accurately. As you align, you may feel moments where you can no longer hide behind politeness, silence, or roles that kept others comfortable. This can feel risky, especially if you were conditioned to equate safety with invisibility. The shock is realizing that authenticity now feels safer than concealment. When you are honest, your nervous system relaxes. When you perform, it tightens. This is your guidance system. Visibility does not require force, it happens naturally when resistance drops. You will be recognized by those who resonate and overlooked by those who don't, and both outcomes are correct. The Council reminds you that alignment does not seek approval, it attracts resonance. Type, I allow my true self to be seen, to release this fear. As the transmission nears completion, the Council addresses something deeply reassuring. You are not expected to maintain perfection. Fluctuation is part of embodiment. Some days you will feel deeply aligned, other days you may feel distracted, tired, or human in messy ways. The shock is realizing that none of this negates your awakening. Consistency is not about never wavering, it is about returning without self-punishment. Each return strengthens trust. The Council emphasizes that compassion toward yourself is not indulgence, it is structural support for higher consciousness. Harshness fractures coherence. Gentleness sustains it. You are not being graded. You are being guided. Type, I return without judgment, to stabilize long-term integration. The Arcturian Council closes this transmission with a message meant to stay with you long after the words fade. You were never meant to escape this world, fix it, or carry it on your shoulders. You were meant to inhabit yourself fully within it. Your presence matters not because of what you do, but because of how you are. The shock resolves into peace as you recognize that nothing essential is missing. The search ends not with fireworks, but with quiet certainty. You are here. You are awake. You are enough. From this point forward, life is not something you chase, it is something you participate in consciously. This message did not find you by accident, and it does not end here. It continues every time you choose presence over fear, truth over comfort, and trust over control. Type, I answer the call, to seal this transmission completely and claim what you already are.